Welcome to the technical assistance recording on the Notice of Funding Opportunity for the Victims of Crime Act Law Enforcement Prosecution-Based Assistance Program. The Federal Victims of Crime Act was passed in 1984 with the purpose of compensating and assisting victims of crime and providing funds for training and technical assistance. ICEJA is the state agency charged with the administration of the Illinois Victims of Crime Act Victim Assistance Formula Grant Program. VOCA grants must support the provision of direct services to victims of crime. The purpose of this Notice of Funding Opportunity is to fund an advocate position to provide direct services to victims of crime. These services must be provided through police departments, sheriff's departments, and state's attorney's offices. The program also requires the grant-funded advocate provide crisis intervention and case management services to victims of crime through those police departments or state's attorney's offices at no cost to victims. Please see the full Notice of Funding Opportunity for details on what is included in crisis intervention and case management expectations. Awarded agencies will also be required to conduct at least one training on trauma for all grant-funded staff during the period of performance. Additionally, those programs operating in law enforcement agencies will be required to hold at least one officer awareness training during the grant period of performance. A victim's eligibility for services can't be contingent on their participation in the criminal justice process. Services must also be made available to all victims of crime. Grant-funded activities must fall outside of the normal scope of any active investigation or prosecution of criminal activities. Services must also be available to a victim after their involvement with the criminal justice system has ended, either by your agency or a referral to another service provider. Eligible applicants for this opportunity include Illinois law enforcement agencies or state's attorney's offices, or nonprofit agencies who provide victim services who will partner with law enforcement agencies or state's attorney's offices for the program. Nonprofit victim service agencies should submit the IRS determination letter showing their agency's 501c3 status. Nonprofit victim service agencies must also submit a draft memorandum of understanding between themselves and the agency they will be partnering with at the time of application. If selected, a finalized memorandum of understanding will be required before a grant agreement is completed. An applicant can't apply for grants until they are registered and pre-qualified in the GATA grantee portal and in good standing to do business with the state of Illinois. Selected programs will be required to submit quarterly data reports through the OVC PMT system, as well as submit a series of narrative questions and data points, as well as fiscal reports to ICEJA. The objectives applicants select during the application will be monitored throughout the grant period of performance and could be adjusted prior to the beginning of any continuation of the program. Any grant awards resulting from this opportunity will have a period of performance of 12 months, beginning January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Additional funding of up to 12 months may be awarded after this initial funding period, and that is contingent on satisfactory performance and the availability of funds. Total funding under this notice will not exceed 24 months. A total of $1,587,306 in VOCA funds are available through this opportunity. Depending on the size of the population to be served, there is a fund range, with a minimum of $55,000 to $200,000 for the smaller population, and $55,000 to $500,000 for agencies to serve a population with 3 million or more. Matching funds are required and must be included in your program budget. Matching funds should be included in your application that you submit. Matching funds can be both in-kind or cash and must support the purpose of the grant program. To find the amount of matching funds, you will take 20% of the total program cost. And there's an example on the screen. If my total program cost is $100,000, I would have $80,000 in grant funding and $20,000 in matching funds. Proposals will be reviewed by a panel of ICEDRA staff and key stakeholders with expertise in victim services. ICEDRA will fund the highest scoring applicants in each geographic region before funding successive applicants. Please see the Notice of Funding Opportunity for information on the geographic regions. Reviewers score applications based on completeness, clear and detailed responses to program narrative questions, and inclusion of all mandatory elements, as well as past performance history and financial standing with ICEDRA. The applicant must demonstrate all costs included are reasonable, necessary, and allowable. Please see the Notice of Funding Opportunity for complete information on geographic regions, scoring, and the review and selection process. All applications must be submitted in the Amplifund system by 5 p.m. on August 8th, 2025. Please be sure to complete all forms and uploads in Amplifund, and late applications will not be reviewed or accepted. Questions about the Notice of Funding Opportunity can be submitted via email to cja.voca.lepros25@illinois.gov. And that email is on the screen and is also throughout the Notice of Funding Opportunity. All questions and responses will be posted on Amplifund and the ICEDRA website. Will be updated every Friday while the application is open. Thank you for your time.